The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's 12 noon Eastern, and it's time for the finals, or the first game of the finals in our That 60s tournament between the Pittsburgh Pirates and Baltimore Orioles. No, this is not a rerun of that 70s tournament finals, which was between the 1979 Pirates and the 1971 Orioles. This will feature the 1969 Orioles and the 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates. Baltimore beat Detroit and Boston, the 68 Tigers and the 67 Red Sox, to get to that 60s tournament championship, while the Pirates went on the road to beat the 1963 Los Angeles Dodgers and Sandy Koufax, and then shut down the 1965 Cincinnati Reds at Forbes Field to reach the final. Game 1 is next from Baltimore. Game 2 will be next Sunday at noon at Forbes Field. If there is a Game 3 2 weeks from today, I believe that would be the last day of November, right back here at Memorial Stadium. It's Dave McNally and Vinegar Ben Meisel next, right here on Retro Sports Network. And unlike Vermont weather this 17th day of November, it's 79 degrees and clear in Baltimore with the winds left to right at 5 miles an hour. Just a beautiful afternoon for baseball. How you doing, Kurt Berglund? Nice to have you along this afternoon. So let's get to the lineups. Dave McNally taking his warm-up tosses. That picture of Dave, by the way, was taken in Oakland. Now, how would I know that? You can ask. Let's see if you can guess how I know that. Anyway, McNally went 20-7 in 1969 with an ERA of 3.22. You'll see Cuellar in Game 2, and if it goes to 3, you'll see Jim Palmer. So McNally 20-7, as I said, 268 and 2/3 innings, 232 hits, 21 homers, 84 walks, not RBI, that comes later, and 166 strikeouts. This will be the lineup that he'll face today from the Pirates. Dick Groat is your shortstop, leading off. Gino Somoli, who's had some wonderful games, is batting second and playing center field. Roberto Clemente is in right, batting third. Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangeglove, is at first, cleaning up. Don Hoke is at third. He'll bat fifth. Skinner is the only lefty in the lineup for Pittsburgh. He will bat sixth and play left field. Hal Smith again gets the call behind the plate. Smokey Burgess, you might even see at some point in this series. Bill Mazeroski will bat eighth and play second, and Vinegar Ben Meisel is on the mound. Defensively for Baltimore, Don Buford a 5 and a 4 in left. Paul Blair is a 10 and an 8 in the center. Frank Robinson is a 5 and 5 in right. Brooks Robinson, who was the hero the last time that Baltimore and Pittsburgh played, is a 10 at third. Mark Belanger is a 10 at short. Davey Johnson a 10 at second. And Boog Powell, who the baseball world is still stunned at him stealing a base, is a 6 at first. And Andy Etchebarren, with the lefty Meisel on the mound, is a 4 and a 10 behind the plate. Good morning, DJ John on the West Coast. How are you? McNally, by the way, is a 6 on the hill. And so we're ready to go. 2 decade tournaments, 2 finals. How about that for Pittsburgh and Baltimore? So Groat digs in. He is 0 for 6 with 2 walks in his 2 games. McNally's ready. And the finals start with a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So Groat starts this one off with a single, and that'll bring up Gino Somoli and his oversized numbers on his jersey. 3 for 7 in 2 games with a triple and an RBI. So McNally, runner on first, just the start of things here in Baltimore. Here's the pitch. Samoli, ground ball to Powell. He flips it to Belanger for 1, and there's no throw to first. They now bring up Roberto Clemente, 5 for 8. 4 singles, a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And we would be absolutely remiss if we did not mention the passing of his wife Vera this past weekend, or this past week, in Puerto Rico, and hope that if there is an afterlife, that Roberto and Vera are together again. So McNally, from the stretch, delivers, gets away from Echeverria, and that's a wild pitch, but it's technically not a wild pitch because Samoli held up. So instead, the count is 3-1. McNally deals, and Clemente draws ball 4. So Samoli moves to second. Clemente goes to first, and now bring up Dick Stewart. 1 for 7. A single. Grounded into 2 double plays. A walk and a run scored. Pitch from McNally. Stewart struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 curve just below the belt, and that's a big out. 2 out for McNally. And that'll bring up Don Hoke, who is 1 for 7 with a run scored. He has singled, walked, and struck out. Pitch from McNally. Hoke popped up right side. Powell into foul territory, and he makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Half an inning in the books. The Pirates leave 2 on and do not score. Pittsburgh nothing. Here come the Orioles. And here's a lineup that Baltimore will put up. It is Don Buford leading off in left field. Paul Blair will bat second and play center. Frank Robinson is in right. He'll hit third. Boog Powell cleans up at first. Brooks Robinson will bat fifth. Davey Johnson will hit sixth. Mark Belanger, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Andy Echeverria, making his first appearance of the series, will bat eighth. And Dave McNally, through 22 pitches in his half of the first inning, will bat ninth. How you doing, Braves for life? By the way, we're going to start doing some of these other Patreon games, and Wednesday we're going to do Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. Ken Herbeck has been told to be on his best behavior. So that's Wednesday night around 7:30 right here on Retro Sports Network. Here is Vinegar Ben Meisel, 13-5 for the Pirates in 60 with a 3.12 ERA. 155 and 2/3 innings, 141 hits, 7 homers, 46 walks, and 71 strikeouts. Buford 1 for 8 with a double, a walk, a score twice, and driven in a run. Pitch from Meisel is popped up behind the plate. Smith to the screen, and that will be touched the screen, and it's a 1-2 count. So Meisel doesn't figure to strike out many batters, and Baltimore, you can expect to go in bursts. This team actually can hit. Here's the 3-1. Line drive left field, and that's a base hit, just as I say that. Or 1-2, I think the count was. So the Orioles start with a hit, and here comes Paul Blair. 4 for 9 with a run scored. Remember, the Orioles had the Red Sox beat in the 3rd inning. They put 6 up on Lee Stang to reach the final. And that was a pitching slobber knocker between Denny McClain and Cuellar in the semi. Pitch to Blair. There's another base hit into left field. And now we'll put runners on second and third with nobody out. Well, I can't wait to see what my mother found, but I can't talk about it. Brings up Frank Robinson, who is 2 for 6 with an RBI and a run scored. He's got runners on second and third and nobody out. And if this looks familiar, this is exactly what they did to the Red Sox last Sunday. Pitch to Frank is popped up into center field. Somoli will grab it. Buford will tag and will score without a throw. So the Orioles lead 1-0, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up Boog Powell. Maybe the most unlikely person ever in human history to steal a base. He is 2 for 9 in this tournament with 2 singles, a run scored, and 2 strikeouts. Blair by himself on second, 1 out. Pitch, and there's a pop-up right side. Clemente will watch that go foul. And somebody from Laurel, who thinks he's at the racetrack, makes the catch in foul territory. 0-2 the count. Pitch from Mizell. Powell struck him out. Oh, that's big. An 0-2 off-speed pitch. Lake called strike 3, and there's 2 out. Bring up Brooks Robinson, who is 3 for 7. 2 singles and a double and 2 RBI. Pitch from Mizell. Robinson into right field. Clemente makes the catch to retire the side. A run on 2 hits and no errors. 1 in the books. Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh nothing. So it'll be Skinner, Smith, and Mazeroski for the Pirates here in the second. Skinner is 0 for 8. He has struck out 5 times, but he is the regular left fielder and had 571 at-bats. I think this is the 3rd time the Pirates have actually faced a lefty. Yeah, they faced Koufax, of course, in Los Angeles, and it was Nuxall in Pittsburgh. Pitch to Skinner is popped up left side. Belanger by the cut of the grass, and the outfield one away. 1 out for Hal Smith, who is 2 for 7. He's got a homer and 2 RBI. McNally deals. Smith, and there's a base hit left center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. And there's 1 out and a double for Smith. So the Pirates have 2 hits. And I'll bring up Mazeroski, who is 2 for 7 with a triple and a strikeout. McNally deals. Maz into right center. Blair has it for the out. Smith will go back to goes to third on the tag. And there's 2 out. For Mizell, the pitcher, who went 7 for 51 on the year. It's a 137 average. He did have 3 RBI and struck out 14 times. Tying run on third. 2 out. McNally delivers. Mizell ground ball to Johnson at second, over to Powell, and that will retire the side. So the Pirates get a hit and strand another runner after an inning and a half. It's 1-0 Baltimore. So Davey Johnson, Mark Belanger, and Andy Etchebarren for the Orioles here in the second. Johnson only 1 for 7. But you know the strength of the Oriole team is on the mound. Although they can't hit. Mizell threw 18 in the first. Here's the pitch. Liner into left. Skinner makes a diving catch for the out. He ran in. Remember, it's a shared facility with the Colts, so the grass is not in the best shape. But Skinner makes a sliding diving catch. 1 away for Belanger, who is 2 for 6 in this tournament with 2 RBI. DJ John just rolled an AM 78 Red Sox Cleveland game. Sox had it 5-1 going the bottom of the ninth, and Bob Stanley did what Bob Stanley does. A walk-off grand slam to Ron Pruitt. I can't tell you what I would have done with that card after. Pitch to Belanger is into left center field. Samoli's going to move. He makes the catch. 2 out. Here's Etchebarren. Andy, 249, 3 homers and 26 RBI. 2 out. Mizell looking much better here in the second. Here's the pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and that will retire the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh nothing. You know, Demos just loves to give me crap about Bob Stanley. Again, if he was a starter, he threw enough innings to be a starter, I don't think we'd had the problem with him. But the Red Sox is trying to use him kind of a trapezoid peg in a round hole. He wasn't a closer, and he really wasn't a fireman. He was a ground ball pitcher who could eat innings. Anyhow, so McNally, as he goes through the first 9 batters and the 38 pitches, that's not neat and tidy. 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Dick Groat singled to start the ball game. Oh, wow, people are watching now. Pitch to Groat, who singled his first time up. Grounder to third. Throw to Powell, 1 out. So Simoli's 0 for 1. I forgot to go through these the first time through. 267, no homers, and 28 RBI on the year. McNally from the line. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Over to first. 2 out. So McNally has 2 quick outs here in the third. Clemente, 314, 16 homers, and 94 RBI in 1960. Walked his first time up. It is a Sunday morning. A lot of our crowd, of course, is in New England, and the Patriots don't play till 4:25 today. Giants, thankfully, are off this week. Pitch to Clemente. Struck him out. 1-2 right down Broadway for strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2.5, it's the Orioles 1, the Pirates nothing. Unfortunately, this game, Stanley faced 5 hitters. They all reached. And if this was the odd couple, his fans would request that he never return. Here's McNally. McNally 085, a homer and 5 RBI in 69. As we start the bottom of the third, Mizell delivers. Struck him out. He got him on a full count, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Mizell. So 37 pitches through 9 batters. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts. Buford, by the way, singled and scored his first time up. He hit .291, 11 homers, and 64 RBI. Yeah, that 70s final was pretty exciting. 1-0 Baltimore here as we start the bottom of the third. 1 out. Pitch to Buford, ball 4. So, top of the lineup has been trouble for the Red Sox and the Pirates. Blair's doubled his first time up, 285, 26 homers, and 76 RBI. Buford on first, 1 out. Mizell deals, and Blair ground ball to short. Groat, big play. Mazeroski for 1, and they're going to just get the fielder's choice. Groat had to reach deep in the hole. He flung it over to Mazeroski, and Bill got the sure out at second. So 2 out for Robinson. Frank at 308. 32 homers, 100 RBI. Sac fly. His first time up. And apparently we've got some albino deer by my mom's place. That's what that Facebook conversation is. Pitch to Robinson is in the center field. Simoli going back, but will make the catch short of the track. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1 after 3. It's the Orioles 1, the Pirates nothing. So it'll be Stewart, Hoke, and Skinner for the Pirates here in the 4th. Stewart 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. 260, 23 homers, and 83 RBI. In the regular season for 1960. McNally from the line, right back to Dave. Over to first, one out. ID Jester, I'm doing fine. How are you? Best of 3 first game. We will play game 2 this time slot next Sunday from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. It'll be Mike Cuellar on the mound for Baltimore. And I forgot who's going to pitch for Pittsburgh. Whoever pitched the game against the Dodgers. Don Hoke is 0 for 1. 282 on the real year. 16 homers, 79 RBI. McNally's pitch. Hoke into left field. Shallow left field. Buford comes in to make the catch. 2 quick out. So Bob Skinner is 0 for 9 now. 0 for 1 today. 273, 15 homers, and 86 RBI. Pitch from McNally, and there's a fly ball on the right. Robinson in the foul territory. And some hot shot from Annapolis makes that catch. But it wasn't Frank Robinson, so the count goes to 0-2. Artie Jester's been doing some wargaming on his channel, showing off some of the new lock and load stuff, and I will say what the other game is. I think it's a card game, right? 0-2 the count to Skinner. McNally deals, and Skinner hits one to third. Robinson, long throw to Powell for the out. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. 3.5 in the books. Baltimore 1. Mizell settled down nicely. Pittsburgh nothing. Oh, yeah, first week. Warfighter, a World War II tactical card game. So those videos are up on ID Jester's channel. I recommend that you go check them out if you're interested. Boog Powell, 304, 37 homers, 121 RBI. Struck out his first time up. And he'll strike out again as he looks at an 0-2 pitch. Change up on the outside corner, and Powell stood there like a barbecue place on the side of the road. Brings up Brooks Robinson, who's 0 for 1. 234, 23 homers, and 84 RBI, and 69. Mizell delivers, and there's a little looper in the left center, and Brooksy's got himself a single. Davy Johnson, 287 homers, 57 RBI, 0 for 1 today. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Mizell from the stretch, and Johnson slashes this one into right center field. Samoli goes to the wall. Robinson will hold at third, but Johnson's got himself a double. So the Orioles are cooking with gas here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 1-0. Brooks Robinson on third, Johnson on second. And here's Belanger. He's 0 for 1. In a rare offensive year for Belanger. 287, 2 homers, and 50 RBI. Mizell's pitch, and Belanger in the shallow center. Samoli comes in, makes the catch. Robinson will tease, but with 2 outs and Samoli's good arm will bluff. 68% chance of scoring, but you don't want to make the third out on the bases. So instead it comes to Andy Etchebarren, who struck out his first time up. 249, 3 homers, and 26 RBI. McNally on deck. 2 out, bottom of the 4th. 2 on, 1-0 Orioles. Game 1 of that 60s final. Pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed a 2-2 curveball. And that will retire the side. The Orioles, no runs on 2 hits and no errors. After 4, Mizell just kind of wipes his brow. Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh nothing. So it'll be Smith, Mazeroski, and Mizell. Hal Smith doubled his first time up. 295, 11 homers, and 45 RBI. As we start the bottom of the 5th, McNally and Mizell in good pitch count shape. Halfway home. Smith, ground ball to Robinson. Flings one over to Powell for the out. 1 away. Brings up Mazeroski, 273, 11 home runs, 64 RBI. 0 for 1 today. 2 hits for the Pirates, 4 hits for the Orioles. They have the game's only run. Pitch to Maz is into left center. Back goes Blair. He's going to run and make the catch. 2 out. That brings up the pitcher. Mizell is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed a 2-2 pitch. That was way outside the zone, and we're halfway home. No runs, no hits, no errors. Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh nothing. So let's take a look at the in-game box score. Mizell, 4 innings, 4 hits, a run that was earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 5. So much for me thinking he wouldn't strike out many. McNally, 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And the offense just really hasn't been there for anybody. The Orioles have 4 hits and the Pirates have 2. Grote and Smith for Pittsburgh. Buford, Blair, Brooks Robinson, and Davy Johnson for Baltimore. And here in the bottom of the 5th, it'll be McNally, Buford, and Blair. McNally struck out his first time up. Mizell's pitch, and there's a base hit in the left center field. That kind of went out in that triangle between Grote, Skinner, and Somoli, and nobody caught it. So McNally gets a hit, 5th hit for the Orioles. And through 18 batters, Mizell, 74 pitches, 4 innings, 5 hits, a run. It was earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 5. Buford is singled and walked. He's 1 for 1. Excuse me. Here's the pitch. And that's into right field. Clemente has it for the out by the bullpens. McNally, of course, will hold, and there's 1 out. Blair is 1 for 2. He's got himself a double. Mizell from the stretch. And that's a slasher into center field. Blair's going to go for 2, and he's there. So once again, the Orioles have runners on second and third and only 1 out. Second time they've had this. The last time they couldn't score. But it'll be Robinson, Powell, and maybe Robinson. So Frank, sac fly in the first. He drove in the game's only run. He's 0 for 1. Mizell's pitch, and Robinson in the shallow center. Somoli comes in to make the catch. McNally will tag. He's going to try and score. Blair's going to go to third. The throw to the plate is in time. And that will retire the side. So a fly ball to center. You had the fast runner on third. And Somoli throws him out for a double play. And that, my friends, is why you don't run on 2 outs. But he had a 3 and 4 chance of making it home. After 5, Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh nothing. Watch it again. It's McNally. They sent Blair. McNally, he slid, and the throw was just an absolute BB. And so McNally still sitting on a 1-0 lead through 18 batters, 5 innings, 73 pitches, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Grote, Dickey's 1 for 2. He singled. Pitch for McNally. Grote into left. Buford, foul territory. And somebody from Anne Arundel will make that catch. And the count is 0-2. That was a nice throw. Absolutely 0-2 to Grote. Pitch from McNally into left field. Second verse, same as the first. And Buford starts humming "I'm Henry VIII, I Am." A young lady from Baltimore made that play, and Rex Barney is already trying to sign her to a contract. 0-2. Pitch to Grote. And here's a base hit left field. Buford will throw it back in, and the Pirates have their third hit. Samoli is 0 for 2. Gino with that nice strike home to get McNally in the fifth to keep it a 1-0 game. And there's a ground ball to Powell. This might be two. No, he takes it to first for the easy out, and Grote will move to second. So Samoli's retired. 1 out for Clemente, who has walked and struck out. Chris Chambliss became a Yankee in 74. Okay. Pitch to Robbie. There's a ground ball to Belanger. A multi-hopper over to Powell, and Grote's going to go to third. Clemente is out. Grote will go to third. Belanger took the sure out, and Clemente. And there's 2 away for Stewart, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So tying run on third will be Powell, Robinson, and Johnson for the Orioles in the sixth. Stewart strikes out. McNally works out of trouble. A 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 5.5, Baltimore 1, Pittsburgh 0. So, as I said, Powell has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2, with Brooks Robinson and Davey Johnson to follow. So twice the Orioles have runners on second and third in 1 out or less, and twice they were able to do nothing with it. Pitch to Boog. This time he swings into right field. Clemente, 1 out. So here's Brooks Robinson. He's 1 for 2. Hoke Skinner and Hal Smith for the Pirates in the top of the 7th. Pitch to Robinson. Here's a sharp grounder to the third. Hope, long throw across, 2 out. Mizell could use an easy inning. He's at 93 pitches. Davey Johnson doubled his last time up, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And there's another ground ball to third. Over to first, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 6 in Baltimore. The Orioles lead 1-0. So, as I said, Hoke, Skinner, and Hal Smith. Don Hoke is 0 for 2. And no, he does not have a tiny bubble. McNally deals, and Hoke chops out one down to Robinson at third, over to Powell for the out. So that path between home and third is getting a nice wearing out from all those ground balls. Here's Bob Skinner. He's 0 for 2. Got him! McNally got him to swing and miss on a 1-2 off speed. That's 5 for Dave. And there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. So McNally continues the Orioles' impressive pitching in this series. Here's Hal Smith. He's 1 for 2. He's got himself a double. McNally delivers, and there's a liner in the left field. That will drop in front of Buford. And Smith has himself a 2-out hit for Mazeroski. McNally now over 100 pitches. And Mazeroski sends this one into left center field. Smith will go to third, and the Pirates have runners in the corners. And 2 out for the pitcher, Mizell, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So, 5 hits for the Pirates. They've left 4 on so far. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Baltimore. They've left 5 on. McNally, of course, is going to stay. What does Pittsburgh do with Mizell? They will leave him in the ball game. He'll hit a ground ball right back to McNally. Over to Powell, and that will retire the side. So the shutout remains. We go. It's stretch time. Last call for Natty Bowe after 6.5. 1-0 Baltimore. And friends, it's not too early to order the next tournament on this channel. We got maybe 2 more games after this. If you would like to be featured Sundays at noon, and it can be the sport of your choice, doesn't necessarily have to be baseball, patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. I'd be happy to do a tournament for you. Just let me know what you'd like. Right here on Retro Sports Network. The organist wants us to. All right, he got his flourish in. Belanger, Echebarren, and McNally here to face Mizell in the bottom of the 7th. Belanger's 0 for 2. Mizell from the wine. Ground ball to first. Stewart, not the surest handed of fielders, takes it to first himself for the out. I'll bring up Echebarren. Andy has struck out twice. So much for that platoon. Actually, only hit .235 against lefties. .279 against righties. People will send letters, I'm sure. Pitch, and Echebarren, ground ball to second. Mazeroski has time to sign it over to first for the out. 2 quick out, and McNally, of course, will bat. He's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. Mizell, got him! Full count in there at the knees for strike 3 on the fastball. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 7 at Memorial Stadium. It's the Orioles 1, the Pirates nothing. So we go to the 8th. McNally, probably, they're going to try to get him the shutout. But in a 1-0 game, beggars can't be choosers here. 7 innings, 27 batters. 5 hits, he's walked 1 and struck out 5. Grote, 2 for 3, has singled twice. He and Smith have 4 of the 5 Pirate hits. Somoli and Clemente to follow, and if anybody should reach Stewart. Pitch to Grote, into right center. Blair, 1 out. Somoli's 0 for 3. He saved a run by throwing out McNally trying to score in the middle of the ball game to keep it a 1-0 game, but the Pirates' offense has not been able to threaten in a while, although they have stranded 6. The Orioles have left 5 on. Somoli pops one up, left side. Belanger and Robinson get together, and somebody's hurt. It's McNally. Well, I'll take care of the complete game then, won't it? Robinson has it, and McNally immediately pointed to his elbow. And so the trainer and Earl Weaver come out. Earl puffing on a Chesterfield. And so we go to the pen. I think it's the first time we've used the pen. And it's going to be Eddie... Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Watt will be given time to warm up. So Watt got all the time he needed to throw some warm-up pitches. He will not bat in this game unless the Orioles go nuts in the 8th inning. He went 5-2 for the Birdies with 16 saves and a 1.65 ERA. In 71 innings, he allowed 49 hits, 3 homers, 26 walks, and 46 strikeouts. And if he can retire the next 4 outs, he will send the Orioles to Pittsburgh with a chance to wrap things up there. Clemente is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. Watt is a 2 fielder out of 10, which is not very good. He's ready, and so are we. Here's the pitch. And Clemente in the right field. Robinson goes back in the corner and makes the catch. And the Pirates go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7.5, it's the Orioles 1, the Pirates nothing. So it'll be the top of the lineup for Baltimore. Buford, Blair, and Frank Robinson to face Mizell. 27 batters, 7 innings, 6 hits, the 1 earned run. He has walked 1 and struck out 6. Why in the world did that get held? Rays for Life is doing 65 National League season on his channel. Yep. And Todd B says Andy Echebarren, the original unibrow, Often impersonated, but never replicated. And Sportsman Z, how you doing, Bob? Bottom of the 8th, the lone run came in the first inning, and in typical 60s fashion, it came on a sac fly. Don Buford scored from third on a Frank Robinson sac fly, and that's been it. McNally got hurt in the top of the inning, and so with 2 out, and Eddie Watt is actually the first Baltimore reliever to throw in this series, or in the tournament, in their third game. So Buford's 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and scored. Mizell's delivery, ground ball to Stewart, and he bobbled it. He's going to try to get there. Buford's got speed, and they got him. How about that? So the strange one had it hit off the heel of his glove. He barehanded it and beat out Buford for the out. 1 out for Paul Blair, who has 2 doubles. He's 2 for 3. Pitch from Mizell. Blair into right field. Clemente comes way in and makes the catch for the second out. So Mizell is going to hold the Orioles to probably 1 run on 6 hits unless Frank Robinson does something about it. Stewart, Hoke, and Skinner for the Pirates in the top of the 9th. Pitch to Robinson. Frank ground ball to Stewart. Makes the play himself. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 8. 1-0 Baltimore. Yep, Andy did just recently pass. So Eddie Watt to face Stewart, Hoke, and Skinner. Stewart's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Smokey Burgess could be used as a pinch hitter if needed. But Hal Smith is 2 for 3. He would be due up 4th. Someone's going to have to reach. It depends on the ballpark. This is the nice one that Clinton Park sent me. It's actually from the 71 World Series. So it's kind of cool that the Pirates and Orioles are playing. The one we use next week will be the generic, god-awful fish bowl shot of Three Rivers. I'm sorry, we're not at Three Rivers. It's at Forbes Field. Duh. Wrong year. Pitch to Stewart is strike 3. Watt got him on a 1-2 on the inside corner. 1 out for Don Hoke, who is 0 for 3. Hey, Clemente was fast. And we mentioned that Vera passed this week. Of course, they give out the Roberto Clemente Award during the World Series, and it was always nice to see her. But you knew she wasn't well this year. It was just the kids. Roberto Jr. and his sister, and I forget her name. Pitch to Hoke. Struck him out. Watt got him. Full count, swung on and missed, and Watt on a fastball now is Bob Skinner, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So 2 out, top of the 9th, 1-0 Baltimore. Orioles 1 out away from having the first crack to win this tournament next week. Pitch to Skinner. Ground ball to Belanger, and it ate him up. And Skinner is going to go to second. That hit off the top of Belanger's glove. And for whatever reason, he went to move it away, and it bounded into left center field. And so by the time that he and Blair chased it down, Skinner reached second. And so let's see what they do with Hal Smith. The tying run is on, and there's 2 outs here in the 9th. Mazeroski's on deck. Yes, Watt does have electric stuff. If the Pirates score, Powell, Robinson, that's Brooks, and Davy Johnson in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Robinson, and the Orioles win the ball game. So Robinson makes the routine catch in right field, and the Orioles have pulled the 60s game. It's the second time, I think, they have won a ball game 1-0. They've stopped the Pirates. So McNally and Watt hold the Pirates to 5 hits. Mizell goes the distance for Pittsburgh. And Baltimore got 6 hits, but the lone run coming on a sac fly by Frank Robinson in the first. Well, the baseball games do tend to be quick, especially when there's no offense. So Mizell, the hard luck loser, 8 innings, 6 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 6. Thanks, John. McNally, 7 2/3 innings, a 5-hit shutout going. He got hurt. He pointed right to that elbow and said, "I'm not right." And Weaver just didn't take the chance, although he did have plus stuff and could have thrown 26 more pitches. So Watt retired all 5 batters he faced. He struck out 2 of them. And the Orioles go to Pittsburgh next Sunday with a chance to wrap this up. And so the Orioles take the opener 1-0 on a beautiful afternoon in Baltimore. So it'll be the game. It'll be Cuellar, and I forget who's pitching for Pittsburgh, next Sunday. And if Pittsburgh wins at home, then the deciding game will be November 31st, 2 weeks from today, back in Baltimore. And like I said, if you are interested in having a tournament done for you, get a hold of me and we'll talk rates and we'll talk everything that you'd like. So it doesn't necessarily have to be baseball. It can be any of the 4 major sports. So you just tell me what you want and we'll go from there, because I like doing these tournaments. All right, football tomorrow night around 7 o'clock between the Giants and the Vikings as we finish our week, wherever we are in the football replay. We are taping Digital Dice tonight, so I'm not going to do a football game on top of that. You'll be happy with who we're talking to this week. We do have a guest. And if that somehow falls through, then we'll do a football game tonight. Wednesday, we're going to do a Patreon baseball special. 7:30-ish. Please don't let me fall asleep like I did the last time. It'll be Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. Jack Morris going for the Minnesota Twins. Ron Gant has his Vaseline on for the Atlanta Braves. So watch for that later this week. I'm Ron Chuckett. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your football Sunday, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow night for football of our own right here on Retro Sports Network.